Hello and welcome to Simple Audio. Our goal is to make audio simple for you, kind of like audio for dummies. Okay, our very first video is going to have to do with our mixer, our console. Here we have a Mackie 1202 VLZ3, which has 4 microphone inputs and 4 other stereo inputs. The very first thing we need to do when we approach any board is to what we call normalize the board. Basically, you're going to set everything to 0 or unity. On this board, we can start from the top or we can start from the bottom. Either way, your choice. I prefer to start from the top. You start with the very first button, which is called a gain or a trim, depending on your mixer. You're going to turn that all the way to the left. Our next section is called the auxiliary section. That also you're going to turn all the way to the left. The very next section is your EQ section. That's the middle section right here. That we turn to unity. That's basically in the center. If you turn the knob, you're gonna feel like a little notch right in the middle there. That's where you set everything to. Very next one is our pan. Panning, for those of you that don't understand, basically sends that signal either to the left or to the right when you have an stereo audio signal. To make it simple, if you're sitting in front of 2 speakers, there's one to your left, there's one to your right. When you turn this to the left, the sound goes to your left. When you turn it to the right, it goes to the right. And in the center, it basically, you can hear out of both. Very next one, you have a button here, which is a mute. You want to turn that off also. And finally, you have your fader or your levels, which you're also going to turn to the left. That is called normalizing the board. That's the first thing you do before you do anything else. Well, now we want to identify everything that's in the mixer. In this mixer, we have basically 8 channels across. There's 4 mono channels and 4 stereo channels. I'm not going to get into that right now. Our main thing right now is to learn channel 1. After channel 1, everything to the right of it is basically the same. The very first thing we're going to do is we want to connect our microphone. Our microphone input is at the very top. We're going to connect this microphone, a Shure Beta 58A, very good microphone for live use. We're going to use our XLR cable. XLR cables are the ones with the 3 holes. This is a male plug. This is the female plug, for obvious reasons. At the back of the microphone, you can see it's male, so you're going to take the female end and you're going to plug it into the bottom. You're going to take the other end and that's going to go into your mixer at the very top. As you can see, there's a second input here where it could be an instrument or another microphone. Some microphones are, like you would use in a home microphone, or some karaoke systems come with it. It's a different type of connection. A connection called a 1/4-inch jack, which basically goes into this. If you do have an option between the two, I recommend using XLR. XLR is going to sound better for you. Less feedback, less problems in the future. At the very top, we have what we call a gain or trim, depending on the mixer. They're all, some say gain, some say trim. It's basically all the same. Once you connect your microphone, you want to mute that channel just to make sure we don't have anything popping anywhere. And then you want to verify that you have sound. If your mixer has a solo button, very important. If you have a solo button, you want to put that in now, just to kind of verify that you have signal going into the microphone. You should be able to see the minute I hit solo, little light starts flashing on the side. When that's flashing, that basically means that something is soloed on the board. We're going to use that just to verify that there's signal going into my microphone. And the way you're going to do that is we're going to start turning up the gain and talking or tapping into the microphone just to kind of see, to make sure we have signal. As you can see on the VU meter here, when I start turning that up, you start getting volume. Okay, you don't want to use this setting for volume. your basic volume is the bottom. But this is very important. A lot of engineers, a lot of people still don't really understand, how to use this. I mean, basically, you wanna set what we call a unity. You wanna set your basic, your best input signal, so that when you mix, when you do, when you work your volumes off the bottom, you have the best possible sound coming into your microphone or your instrument. And the way you do that is, you turn this up until you see that VU meter at least past that 0. You don't want to go into red, because then you're distorting. You can go as high as into the yellow, which is acceptable, but you want to go a little bit over, a couple of notches over that unity, which is 0. I'm going to tap into this microphone. Let's say this is what I want to do. So, you're going to see, you're going to turn that up until it gets there, and there you go. Once you do that, you take it out of mute, you'll be able to see that when you start raising this volume, you start seeing our VU meters start to get volume. And this is basically your volume, or your signal that's going to your speakers. Once you have this set up, we're good. We're good to go. You can do the same for every channel. On my next video, I'm going to work on your equalizer and your panning. So this is it for our first video on basic audio, simple audio for you. See you next video.